What are some unethical life hacks? NSW. Gain access to any event by putting on a chef coat, carrying 2 lobsters, and walking briskly. If you want to sound sick when calling into your work, lie on your back while hanging your head over the edge of the bed. You will sound congested. If your boss calls you in on your day off, tell him you've been drinking. Boss can't fault you for not coming in. Doesn't give the best impression if you work morning shifts though. Always book your hotel room with the prefix of doctor. When the morning crew pre-assigns rooms for that day's arrivals, they are likely to put you in a nicer room to avoid an unhappy pretentious doctor bitching about being next to the elevator. Also, if you call a hotel and they are booked for the weekend, just call back later and book your arrival day on Thursday with a departure day of Tuesday. Hotel reservation systems are designed to turn away 2-night stays in favor of 3, 4 or 5-night stays. So just call the hotel back later and make the adjustments to your current reservation for just the days that you want. Make your arrangements directly with the hotel when possible to avoid any robotic responses from a central reservations department. Former general manager. Download the crappy watermarked low-res image that iStock gives for free. Upload that in Google's image-based search and find many people hosting the high-res. Last time I was looking for a job, I posted a fake ad for a very similar position on Craigslist so I could check out the resumes of my competition. Extra unethical bonus. You can also use their contact information to get rid of them accidentally. Want to steal something in a secure building? Buy a wheelchair and put crap in your lap. The cardboard boxes for paper reams work well and can be gotten for free. Roll up to the door behind someone and they'll hold the door for you. No need for a key card. Taking advantage of people's good side is very reliable. Not everyone is stupid, but people feel bad for the disadvantaged. There's clothing that allows you to do virtually everything. Want to do graffiti? Wear one of those white paperish overalls. Steal a street sin? Carry a toolbox. Dress like a mechanic and you're good to go. Dress up like a technician. Walk into an office. Tell somebody you were told to take that PC. You can just walk out with it. Never underestimate how little people question the uniform. Yes. Also, fluorescent safety vests will get you into pretty much anywhere. Respect the vest. Hampton Inn hotels have a 100% money back guarantee policy. If you aren't happy for any reason at all, they are required to comp your room. You can do this nearly as often as you like. I work for one and we regularly have the same people complain about things, like the room was too cold, or the fan was loud, and we have to comp them. One woman has like 180 free rooms complaints on her profile, but we still have to comp her. The only way around this is for the hotel owner to set up a review of the incident on a per case basis with Hilton. It's easier just to comp the room and move on. Hilton pays the hotel back anyway. I figure if you wanted to you could travel across the US getting free stays. Our teacher asked the entire class to keep bidding higher on his eBay item he was selling, so it looked like there were a lot of people bidding on it and there was a lot of interest on it. Once someone not from the class had bid higher, we all stopped bidding. The non-class member was usually the only other person to bid, so they got ripped off. Worked like a charm. The teacher would pay us back if one of our bids won. My dad would keep an orange vest and an orange flag in his car when we would go to sporting events. After the game, when the lot was full of angry drunk drivers, even getting someone to let you in was a real pain in the butt. My dad would have me or my brother jump out with the vest and flag and stop traffic, so he could get in the line. But then we would jump back in the car. Most of the time, people were not even mad and would laugh. Me and a couple of friends bypass our uni print queue and pay system by using the printer's IP address to print straight to it, rather than using the print release terminals. Cram a piece of wadded up paper towel in the change return of a vending machine, as high up as you can get it without losing it entirely. Once a day, come back and give it a little tap to send all the change it has collected tumbling to the bottom and into your hands. Repeat. I've found that if someone has pinned you in some sort of wrestling move, quickly and repeatedly yelling "I've got a boner" always loosened it. Hotel concierge services are for everyone. In any city in the world, just walk into an international chain hotel and ask away. Ask for directions. Have them make restaurant reservations for you. Get general advice. You can also store luggage for free at many hotels. Most places will just give you a claim ticket for your luggage and, especially if it's a bigger hotel, won't ask for a room number. If either the concierge or bell staff ask for a room number, just say that you're checking in later with a friend. Her name is Kate, but the reservation might be under her husband's name. You're meeting him for the first time and OMG, this is so embarrassing, I can't remember his name. My wife and I drink unsweetened tea. Not for any noble health reasons. We just like it. It's about 50/50 at the MCD's drive-thru if we will actually get unsweetened tea. They often freak up and give us sweet tea. One day they gave my wife sweet tea. It was the second or third time in a row it had happened and it peed her off, so she emailed the owner of the franchise. Not being great at complaining, she wanted it to sound dramatic, so she said that the tea was for her husband. It wasn't. And that I am diabetic. I'm not. And that sweet tea could kill me. They sent us a bunch of coupons for free desserts. Well played, McDonald's. Want to sit alone on a bus? Wear a face mask. Or just smile at people and awkwardly gesture for them to sit next to you. As part of the employee training at Target, they teach you that if a customer argues over a price, and the full price is under $20, to just give it to them for whatever price they claim. It's cheaper for the company to move on to the next customer than to call in a price check. When meeting someone, tell them you are twice as far away from them as you actually are, and are willing to meet halfway, that is, a block away from where you currently are. Downloading LimeWire Pro through LimeWire. Add a NSW tag to your Reddit post to get people interested. If you're doing something you shouldn't, confidence is key. You can just walk out of a store holding what you stole and be fine if you know how to act and have a basic knowledge of how the store works. Bonus: trespass with an orange safety jacket. Nobody questions the orange safety jacket. This type of thing happened at the local country club. Two guys walked in dressed as repairmen and just lifted a brand new 60-inch plasma off the wall and took it away. Nobody said anything because they thought they were supposed to be there. They got away clean. This trick has helped me pass a good majority of my college courses. Send out a mass email to the class the day before an exam saying I have just finished my study guide, and offer to swap it with other people. Never actually made a study guide. People would send me theirs and I would then send them each other's back. Win-win for everyone. Study guide Ponzi scheme. If someone wins an auction you have placed on eBay and then decides not to pay you for the item, make a fake eBay account and message the buyer telling them that you noticed they had won the item and that you would love to have it. Offer a reasonable amount more than they won the auction for. The idea is that they get greedy, decide to pay you after all for your item, and then you stiff them when they try to collect from your fake account. At this point I would use the fake account to mock them for falling for it all, and point out how they deserve it because only scumbags don't pay for auctions they have won. Don't call into work sick. Call in saying that you have family problems. That's the end of the discussion. Or explosive diarrhea. It's too embarrassing to lie about. The weirdest I've heard of is rich moms hiring handicapped people to go to Disney with them so they and their children can skip all the lines. Road cones. Road cones. Road cones. Need to hold a parking spot? Road cones in the target spot and the adjacent spots. No one challenges road cones. You've obviously not lived in New York City. Even legit road cones are thrown aside to park. I used to keep a cup from McDonald's in my car at all times, and whenever I was driving and wanted some soda I would just walk in any McDonald's and refill my cup. I did this for weeks. I saw H pull a used cup out of the trash and refill it. Say you've never orgasmed from FaceTime to make your partner try harder. I've never actually orgasmed by FaceTime, but I can confirm, this really does make them try harder. I read a story in private eye recently about a man who bought a first-class ticket for a plane flight. All first-class passengers got a complimentary breakfast in the airport's VIP lounge. He ate his breakfast, then, perfectly legally, changed the date of his flight online to the next morning. The next morning, he arrived at the airport, had his free breakfast, and, you guessed it, changed the date of his flight again. He got free breakfast every morning for about 9 months doing this. When the airline finally caught up with him, they were forced to concede that everything he had been doing was perfectly within the rules, but they reserved a right to refuse him service. They refunded his flight in full on the promise that he would never fly with them again. Use the self-checkout when buying fruits and vegetables. If you're in a crowd and need to get through, yell "I'm gonna puke." To dominate someone in conversation, stare at their forehead questionably. I would try the forehead thing, it's just that I'm just not sure what I would do once I was dominating the conversation. For college students, torrent your book's PDF rather than buying the textbook. If you have to bury a body, do it vertically. Satellites look for 6 feet long holes and marks them for investigation. Also, bury the body under a dead dog. Sniffer dogs will mark that spot, and when they dig it up and find the dog, they will mark it as a false positive and move on. I remember this being posted on Reddit before, and an ex-investigator chimed in to say that it is procedure to keep digging when they get a false positive. If you're flying somewhere and realize you have something that won't get by security, turn it into lost and found. Go pick it up when you return. When buying something on Craigslist, I use my spam email to lowball the seller by a lot. Then I use my regular email to give a reasonable offer that is still a good amount under the asking price. I almost always have my offer accepted. Another tip I learned from the Frugal subreddit is to search on Craigslist for moving and then go to the sale and lowball everything. Also, apparently if you go to college campuses during or after finals week, you'll be able to get tons of good free stuff because college kids moving out of dorm and throwing stuff away. Apparently many fridges are easy pickings, but never tried it myself. Flatulence works well for clearing crowds in front of famous paintings at art museums. Learned from an elderly lady in New York. You can take as many bottles through tsar as will fit in a quart-sized plastic bag. They are like $1.50 at the liquor store, compared to $7 on the plane, or even save them and refill at home for even cheaper. Ask the flight attendant for the whole can and a cup of ice. Make sure to mix them in your drink when the flight attendant isn't looking, as this is against FAA regulations. Put the empty minis back into your bag and not the seat pocket. Much cheaper buzz. I made the mistake of trying to discard the minis on the flight. She was not happy. Not sure about all chain theaters, but this is a sure bet at any AMC. After buying a ticket and walking past the concessions, head to any trash can. Stay with me here. Try to find an empty large soda cup and or popcorn bag. Take this to the counter and ask for a free refill. They will take the old bag cup and throw it out, thank God, and fill a new one, with refill repeating in bold around the rim. They do this to prevent people from getting more than one refill, but it's a surefire way to grab free food in a super expensive theater. Another life hack: don't let your date see you do it. The AMC I worked at gave unlimited refills on larges, and we definitely didn't give new cups. We only gave a new bag if it was ripped to a point where it would no longer contain popcorn. They inventory every single item in concessions to the point where you need to record every cup, bag, hot dog, etc. you need to throw away and damage it out. It's very awkward to say no. If you go to a fast food place for example and you simply lie and say that there was a Big Mac missing from your order during lunch rush and that your receipt got thrown away with your meal, they'll give you another one. McDonald's is very customer service driven. You can finish your Big Mac, take the empty wrapper to the counter, tell them it wasn't good, and they'll likely just give you another one. They're not in the business of alienating customers over a couple patties. Ronald's in the long game. He's got you for life. For married people, go out to eat. Out of town works best. Won't be recognized, and propose to your wife. Have her say yes enthusiastically. Get free dessert, possibly free meal. Anytime you ever go on vacation to a hotel or resort, it is your honeymoon. Don't order anything extra. Just let them know and act all lovey. They'll hook you up. For extra unethical excitement, tell them you're a veteran as well. Just got back from my actual honeymoon. In an email, I told the hotel it was our honeymoon and they upgraded our room from a queen standard room to a king suite, dropped $25 off the price, and brought up a free bottle of champagne. Want free admission to Six Flags? Tell them you are buying a season pass. but not staying in the park that day. They will ask for collateral, usually a credit or debit card. They will give you 30 minutes to come back, or they will charge your card the full price for admission. Walk into the park, walk around for a few minutes. When you leave the gate they stamp your hand with that awesome black light readable only re-entry stamp. Go get your collateral back from the ticket booth. Then you can walk right back up to the re-entry gate, show them your stamped hand, and voila, free park admission. Source: ex-employee of Six Flags, and have successfully done this numerous times at my local park, and the Hurricane Harbor across the street. Till if I ever own a store I should not install a self-checkout line. I lived in upstate NY with a friend for a year. We didn't know any people really. Test drove a truck to move a couch. When finished I like it but I have to discuss with the missus. I've got your card. Buy clothes at Goodwill and sell them to Plato's Closet. If you need a phone charger, go to a hotel and tell them you forgot your phone charger in the hotel. They'll pull out a box full of them. Take your pick. Work in a hotel. Can confirm they will pull out a box of old Nokia chargers. When I was going to college I would walk over to Whole Foods and get some of their most expensive grass-fed bone-in ribeye steaks from the meat counter. The butcher would wrap them up and slap a price tag on them. If I was getting meat for a barbecue this was sometimes upwards of $200. Then I would walk over to the bulk grains, put the meat on the scale, and hit print for something like oats. I'd cover the existing label on the meat with my much cheaper oats label, and proceed to self-checkout. It would ask you to scan the barcode, and then place the item in the basket. It would register the appropriate weight as both labels were from the weight of the meat. Then I'd pay 88 cents for 6 steaks and leave. I probably did this 25 times without arousing any suspicion. TLDR, cheap steaks. And I thought I was evil ringing up my Honeycrisp apples as red apples. I'd never have the guts to do this. You have been visited by the lemon shibby like in 3 seconds or you will never have vitamin C again. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.